Welcome back. This is In Focus. The United States and its key European allies want a regime change in Syria and are calling on President Bashar al-Assad to relinquish power. Al-Assad has repeatedly refused appeals to end a brutal 5-month crackdown on protesters. VOA's David Gollust has that story.
U.S. President Barack Obama calls Syria's crackdown against pro-democracy demonstrators disgraceful and labels President al-Assad's call for dialogue and reform as hollow. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton held a press conference to emphasize the administration's position that Mr. Assad should step down for the sake of the Syrian people.
The people of Syria deserve a government that respects their dignity, protects their rights, and lives up to their aspirations. Assad is standing in their way.
America's leading European allies are taking a similar position. Germany, France, and Britain say Mr. Assad has lost all legitimacy and can no longer claim to lead the country. But Clinton says the allies are not trying to dictate a resolution of the Syrian crisis.
We understand the strong desire of the Syrian people that no foreign country should intervene in their struggle, and we respect their wishes. At the same time, we will do our part to support their aspirations for a Syria that is democratic, just, and inclusive.
New U.S. sanctions sharply expand punitive measures targeted at the Syrian leader and his inner circle. A presidential order freezes all Syrian government assets subject to U.S. jurisdiction, and it bans U.S. imports of Syrian petroleum products. The European Union is expected to do the same on Friday. But the situation in Syria is not easily influenced, says Ed Hussein of the U.S. Council on Foreign Relations.
It's a country that's divided along sectarian lines hugely, and Assad's party and Assad's family, whether we like it or not, is an ugly truth, have held that country together. And they know if Assad falls, there will be bloodbath between the Alawis, the Druze, the other minorities, and as well as the Sunni majority. And for those reasons, I think, at least in the short term, Bashar al-Assad remains the least worst option.
The UN Human Rights Council will hold an emergency session on Syria on Monday in Geneva. David Gollust, VOA News, the State Department.